So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing and breaking down Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 15, USS Pennsylvania. Now, the name of this episode and the submarine in the episode is referencing a US battleship, USS Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, you know, where Rick is, in Philadelphia. We'll get into that later. Now, the main thing with this episode is finding out who's actually going to die. Because a nuke, or at least one missile, was sent off with 10 warheads in it. That's nuclear, in the way that it's going to take out a whole entire place that we know of already in Fear. And this episode told us who it was going to be. They showed that. And it also secured the safety of a few characters that I was actually worried about. And as well as breaking down this episode, I will be looking at the trailer for episode 16, the finale of this season. Let's get straight into it, of course. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe so that you're the first to see my videos. If you don't subscribe, you're going to be like Riley. So first of all, a really good episode. Frustrating at parts, especially with Morgan. I thought he was past his bullshit, but clearly not. I wasn't even annoyed with Dakota when she betrayed Alicia again. But it was this episode where she did get annoying again. With a little psycho, know-it-all Kevin McAllister, whatever it's fucking called, Home Alone. Mind. Macaulay Culkin over here. That's when it gets annoying. I thought she was gonna own when she killed John and gradually redeem herself without forcing us to feel sorry for her. But she's gone back to this psycho mindset, and it's stupid because she wants to die now with Teddy. As soon as Teddy said that was the plan, to die, that's when she should have stopped, and she could actually be a really good character, but no, the shit with her has got annoying, and the worst thing that could possibly be done with her character is combining it with Morgan's old ways of all life is precious. Now, he's saving Dakota because she saved him, but it's like he's completely forgotten about what she did to John. That was something that I actually admired about him after she did it. It was Morgan that stepped up and snapped everything out. But no, he goes out of his way to save her and nearly gets himself and everyone else killed. At the start of this episode where I saw Morgan looking at the note that she gave him, I knew that was what he was going to start doing. He was going to be like, yeah, this note means something again. No, it doesn't mean anything. She's an awful little girl. He should allow her to make her own choice. I don't know why he's starting all this up again. And then when they're in the submarine at the start, he decides it's the perfect time to talk to Grace about what happened with her baby. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, get that on her mind. She's annoying enough. And he started all that bullshit again. I find it really strange that all of a sudden, he's annoying again. I love Morgan. He's been so good this season. But he couldn't go a full season without being a twat, could he? Now, what the next episode confirms is that Morgan will be staying. And as he thinks right now, sacrificing himself. You know, just like Rick did in his final episode. And obviously, Althea is nowhere to be seen because she's looking for Isabel. If you're wondering where Althea is, that's what she's doing. She's gone out to all the places on the maps, on the CRM cards, and looking for a helicopter. Once she has it, she's going to come back to the submarine and quickly save Morgan. And then whoever is piloting the helicopter, probably Isabel, will take Althea and Morgan to the CRM, and I actually really like that. I really love that Strand was stepping up more, and he was like a big character this episode. He could 100% take over if Morgan does leave. I'm fairly certain Morgan will be taken, but there's a chance he doesn't. If he does, Strand is perfect to take over. That's what it felt like. It was like Morgan was passing the torch. It was like Strand was proving to himself and everyone else and the viewers that he could be a good leader. Strand and Morgan are such a good duo that I wish we got more of, but I think it's going to be cut short. Morgan will be taken, or, well, we'll get onto that in a minute. Grace does fucking nothing to help herself. She was so fucking chirpy in this episode. Like, I want to like Grace.
What's the reading now?
Checking. They're still holding a 10.
You sure?
I am.
So the reading hasn't changed at all?
Right, he's already told you. I don't know. Why is she so chippy? Shut the fuck.
10.
And then he nearly dies. Shut your... Look at her move out the way after what she's just caused. Yeah, get June and John Dory Sr. to deal with it.
What's it at now?
Just breathe. Okay. I love Grace. John Dory Sr., I feel like I've got to say his whole name, just allow it. He's such a good and likeable character. I really like him.
Not sure I packed enough ammo for this.
I hope he stays, but I don't really see that happening. I see his purpose is to kill Teddy and die with him. Thanks to Morgan, he's just let Teddy and Riley walk straight out. all of these characters in the submarine were really good. I mean, apart from Grace. I think June's really good now. Not really because she just killed Virginia. She's just much more likable now. This is the thing that I wish happened with Maggie. She's just got a lot more tougher because of it. Now, different characters, they deal with things differently, just like there's different people that deal with things differently. But June happens to be a lot more likable after John's death. Maggie got insufferable and annoying. Now, I do believe this episode told us who is going to die. There's a difference between characters leaving. For example, Morgan and Althea, I think, are 100% going to be taken by the CRM. You will see them in the Rick Grimes movies, 100%. That's where you will next see them. But a character death, the end of the story for them. And this episode told us that Strand will either step up and become the leader of the show now, or he will die. It also told us that Dwight will die.
We're all coming in, Morgan.
No use in arguing.
Nice to see Machine Gun Kelly's doing well.
And let's open it up.
This group and Alicia would be the best fear cast. Now, looking at it, do I think they're all going to survive? Quite the opposite. It was such a good scene where they found out the missiles were hitting where the submarine is. They've been telling everyone to get to the submarine because it's the safest place to be. Now, remember, they're giving Grace all this information so that she can relay it over to Luciana over the walkie-talkie, where Althea is also listening to it. Don't tell me you haven't caught on to it yet. Do you need me to spell it out for you? Is that what this is? Just 3 letters. C-R-M. Fucking hell, I feel like Barney. Morgan is likely staying in the submarine, sacrificing himself because there's going to be more than one explosion. He's got to just be in there to tell the others where it's going to land. One of them are likely going to hit where he is or near it. That's when Althea will come in and save Morgan, and as I've been saying for weeks now, take him to the CRM. All of the characters have split up to try and work out where it's going to land, which means one of them could be really unlucky. They all seem to think it's going to hit them. I think that's why Strand is screaming, because he thinks it's going to hit him. He might even be finding out in this picture right here that that's what's happening, because it's going to hit one of them, Dwight and Sherry, together. So this confirms, by the way, that they could probably both die, and I mean, I wouldn't really complain. Do you know, I don't hate them. I like Dwight. Again, like I've said, not keen on Sherry or his antics to suckle up to her. But do I want him to get nuked? No. I really like that Daniel was kind of put in the kids and mothers situation. That's what I like to call it, the Titanic kids and mothers situation. You know, they were only letting mothers and kids into the lifeboats, making sure they're safe first. That's what Daniel was put into in the fear version of that. So hopefully that secured his place in Season 7. He's one of the best characters and he's not really getting involved in this submarine shite. So let's just keep him safe. Like I said with Strand, he's either being prepared to die or prepared to step up and take over from Morgan. It doesn't even feel like Morgan's about to be taken. My instincts are telling me, no, he can't. He's like the main character now, what? But all of the evidence, which I've always gone by, which has 99% of the time never let me down, says that Althea's going to come and save him and take him to the CRM. And Strand will take over. That's what his conversation with Alicia was. Him saying he can show her the bigger world. And that's what we see in Michonne's final episode. It's very likely, well, there's a big chance that's them, but if not, that's what Strand's going to be doing anyway, building some big army after he's come out from underground. Hopefully, he's in that.
Gonna get your wish.
Let's be real, he should have really died here. This was the only thing in this episode that made me think, alright, that's cheap. It was such a good scene, I loved it, but fuck off.
If I lived with you, I'd have to be a whole different person.
You'd be doing yourself a favour because right now, you're a little dickhead.
Right before I shot John, he told me it wasn't too late.
John Dory Sr.'s reaction to hearing how John died. I'm happy. So Morgan and Strand get to Teddy and Riley just in time to where they only just launch the first missile. Like when they press that button, that's when they enter the room. And then there's this weird, eerie silence that surrounds the scenes. There's no music. This little fucking chubby missile gets put up into the air and then everyone just goes dead silent. And it's so awkward. It looks like the little shit elevator at the end of Willy Wonka that they start flying around in. It's not actually a nuke, it's just Johnny Depp going to the shop. It's not a missile, it's got Gene Wilder in it.
whole stick.
That's a big stick.
And then Morgan tells Strand to leave after remember letting Teddy and Riley already go. So he's just left sitting in there figuring out where it's going to land.
Maybe toward that town you built.
Which is probably really scary, especially when he feels responsible for what went off in the first place. So the next episode, the finale of season 6, is pretty much an hour-long Russian roulette. Who is it going to land on? They're likely going to end up staying in the bunker for a very long time, so whoever you see in the trailer settled with being outside, for example Teddy and Dakota, will likely just die anyway. And remember, Alicia is still locked up. What I love the most about this episode, and I think is the biggest thing to take note of, is Strand and Morgan. Morgan really saw Strand coming along with him as him trying to convince himself he's the big hero, and so that he can tell Alicia that he tried to help, convincing himself and others that he's not selfish. This just tells me even more that Morgan will be assumed dead, and Strand is going to feel really bad about it and will go on with his life, acting as Morgan, doing what Morgan wanted to make it up. Just like with Daryl and Rick. Daryl got Rick into a hole and was arguing with him. Strand pushed Morgan back and tried to do it himself. It was indirectly Daryl's fault that Rick was even out there, to fall into the rebar, to bleed out and then get taken by the CRM, as it is Strand's for pushing Morgan back, and in a different way actually kind of denounced by Morgan. He's always going to remember the words that Morgan told him in this episode. And although Strand wasn't being selfish, and as much as that could be true, he felt as though Morgan was just spitting facts. He was reading Strand like a book. And I think it's from this point that we saw all the selfishness in Strand left. That's because of Morgan, whether he gets taken or not. So, who dies from a nuke? I like to think the trailer secures a few characters. I don't think Luciana or Wes are going to get it. We've got a whole truck full of Sarah, Daniel, Riley, and it does look like they're rushing to get to the bunker. So it's just the question of, will they make it in time? I think that's what it's going to come down to with them, which could mean Riley survives. Now, in this episode, we found out, it was confirmed, he was the weapons officer on this submarine, and that was confirmed by Morgan seeing a picture of Riley with a girl, showing that he's got a past, and that's why he's like how he is now. That's why he wants to end the world, because he lost someone. That's usually how it works. If anything, that just shows he could have a future in this show. However much of a brainwashed idiot he appears to be, he can come back from that. And I don't think they would kill this whole truck full of characters off. I don't want that for Daniel at all, to be embedded with other characters' fates, with the likes of Sarah. I like Sarah. Well, she doesn't get to be in the hall of amazing characters like Daniel is. And we've got this masked idiot at the... don't. I believe Daniel works out where the majority of the damage is going to be, and that's why they're rushing back to the bunker. I think they actually could kill Sherry and Dwight off together. I think Teddy and Dakota obviously just don't want to be saved, so I think Teddy and Dakota, Sherry and Dwight are going to die. And I think Morgan will be saved by Althea and taken to the CRM. And so hopefully that means Strand survives. And remember, USS Pennsylvania, Philadelphia is a city in Pennsylvania where Rick is, where we saw Rick literally go to in the teaser trailer. Morgan is following behind him. And the most interesting part about that is, this is around the exact time Rick would be taken. So Rick and Morgan would be starting out in a confusing different place, just like they did at the start of season 1. It's the Rick Grimes movie, but Morgan is right there with him. What do you think? Who do you think is going to die in the finale? Will the CRM save anyone? Who do you think will make it to season 7? Make sure you let me know what you think down below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you press the like button. It will help me out and get this video seen by more people. If you did enjoy it, then check out my other videos. Check out this one for a complete recap on all the information we have so far on the first Rick Grimes movie. When's it filming? When's it going to be out? And when can we expect a trailer? We focus on the whole plot of the first Rick Grimes movie. Go and check it out. Check this one out to find out where Connie actually is. What did Virgil do with her? And when will we next see her? What does her disappearance again mean? And of course, make sure you subscribe so that you're the first to see my videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
All these drugs inside me got her going crazy. All these drugs inside me got her going crazy. All these drugs inside me got her going crazy. All these drugs inside me got her going crazy. My bitch don't do the same drugs that I do. My bitch don't love the same drugs that I do. My bitch don't love the same things I do.